What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show.
What's going on?
Dude, late night session. I cried before this, not for multiple reasons, right? I'm still a little sore, but we have a busy schedule, so we thought we'd jump in one right now, especially with me leaving town for a few days, and I haven't done a podcast this week, so time to do a podcast.
Perfect.
But I'm starving right now, so welcome to the podcast, boys.
I want it.
Thanks for having me.
Obviously, Zach's been on here before, so everyone knows him, the Bully Bandit. Stop flexing your chest. We're good. Why don't you let everyone know who we got over here?
Hey, my name's Caleb Rogers. I hopped on with Bully Bandit and tried to help out as an athletic trainer. Just started up Apex Recovery. Our aim is to provide athletic training services to teams around the Inland Empire, and then also provide,
Just make
private
people feel better.
Yeah, make people feel better. And that's why he was crying earlier.
Yeah, well, it's funny, we were talking about before you walked in here. It's like, dude, I'm 33, he's 26, right? Like, why do people stop working out? It's because they're like, their body can't get in the position because of some injury over time of tightness and stuff. And it's just like, you can't really go to like one of those mom and pop or the massage envies or whatever to actually get worked on. And so those things never get fixed. And then if you're not like pushing more weight or then it leads to another injury because your body's it's just an ongoing thing, and then you should never work out.
Yeah. Well, usually you could see it with any type of profession. The market works itself out, right? So if I have someone come in that's hurting, but they have a low pain tolerance or they don't want to put in any work to their recovery, I'm only going to be able to put them through so much. But for you guys, you have a goal, you have an intrinsic drive to why you want to get better, and so you're willing to go through a lot more pain to recover properly. So those mom and pop shops they're molding to the market. Like, these people just want to get nice rubs, zero effort. They don't want to, you guys were dripped in sweat, your heart rate's increasing by just getting stretched by me.
Shaken to the core.
The core,
Yeah.
And so that is not offered because people don't want it.
Yeah, it's just too small of a market.
Yeah, and that's why there's 20, come in and get hot rocks on your body, but it doesn't really solve the root cause.
But it feels really good.
It feels amazing.
It does
mentally.
feel good.
You got to earn that, though.
Yeah, that is
right. You got to earn that.
100%.
I agree. I used to have a girl, ladies come to my house. She was a rock star, and then I sold her house. She moved to Oregon. Still sad about that. Stacy, I miss you, girl.
Awesome.
So what made you get into it? You're 24 years old. Obviously, you just kind of got out of school a little bit ago. You're starting your own business. What made you even get into physical therapy?
So athletic training. I almost did physical therapy, and that's part of the journey, right? So I was a athlete my whole life. Got to CBU. That's how I ended up in Riverside. Played men's water polo. Men's water polo got me into personal training. So loved personal training, did it for about 5-6 months. It was pretty lucrative for me at the beginning stages of personal training. But then I found once my clients, twisted their ankle at home, felt a little extra sore, I had no education to back me up when I say, you're literally just sore.
Yeah.
We can work through this. I can't say that legally because they work out and they actually had an ankle sprain and they fracture their ankle. I'm legally bound. I've pushed them further than my scope of practice. So I started looking around. What could give me access to push my clients through injuries, soreness, and to decipher that? And athletic training was the answer. But I looked at physical therapy, but their lifestyle's too sedentary. It's too common for me. It's like every day's a grind, and you're actually seeing that. I'm seeing that a lot on social media. Physical therapy, physical therapists are like, we're not getting paid enough for how much it costs and all that stuff. So you weigh your options going into it. And then athletic training, I get to be around my kind of people, which are athletes willing to push themselves to the limit. They're college athletes, high school athletes. And so I get to learn what I want to do for my clients in an environment that I love and grew up in, and then also get to help literally every person that it wants to be better. And so that's how I got into athletic training, and that's where I fell in love with it.
Do you think the difference is athletic training, we want to feel better because we have goals, and then physical therapy is you're forced to go there because you have an injury?
It's exactly right.
Yeah.
The market builds itself. So physical therapy has fallen into work comp. And so work comp, you have a lot of people, you run the gambit, right? So you have a small percentage of people that really want to get back to work, and because they're getting reduced pay for it. And you have a lot of people just milking the system. And then you have a lot of people that are geriatrics. They're older senior citizens. So as much as they want to feel better, they're like, I'm not going to be running a marathon.
Yeah.
And so, but that is the consistent payroll that the market builds around physical therapy. But physical therapy and athletic training have a lot of the same skill set. Physical therapy has But the differences between the two are physical therapy has like the nervous system is all theirs. Like if there's anything revolving around like stroke patients or any type of really deep cervical CNS situations, we send that to PT immediately. But we have emergency situations. So we do extensive training with like cervical injuries, concussion training. Athletic trainers are the experts in concussion training because of how much we've been trained by physicians. So it's not just like athletic trainers have this special gene, but it's part of our training is to save young athletes from sustaining horrible brain injuries. And so that's how we differ with PT. And when we work together, it's a great harmony, but sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, all my years in baseball, it was always crazy. You always kind of knew the teams that had the best trainer, right? Just because like all the players just liked it more, right? You would go down and be like, oh, I don't want to go to the trainer's room right now. Like, so you could always tell which team had the best person and then I always knew who the best guy was because it was like, oh, okay, this is hurting me right now. My lower back hurts. This, like, no, I want to go see this guy. No, I'll go see this guy. Like, I would wait for every city I'd go in to change who we'd go look at because they're just all different. Yeah. Some guys care and some guys just are going through the motions. You know what I mean? Didn't want to be there. So then we have Zach over here. Zach's obviously doing training me, right? And I got hooked up through Zach, this little group. The goal we just started training, or Zach's training someone new next week. Why don't you tell everyone about that, Zach?
Oh, yeah. So I got the girl version of Adam. So her name is Joelle, and I'm basically going to take her through almost the exact same transformation program, except we're not going to try and gain weight on Joelle. We're just going to go straight into cutting.
I don't see. Joelle has some pressure on her, bro. She's coming after me.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was talking to Joelle today on the phone, actually, when I was driving to an appointment, and I was like, yeah, I feel a little pressure on me. She's like, why? I'm like, one, you're coming behind me, so if you have better results than me, then there's something wrong with me. Two, I'm like, the better results I get is it better for Zach, right? And then three, the more weight I lose, the more money I donate. So it's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
So
I mean, depending on how you look at the donating the money, but yeah.
True. Yeah. Hey, listen, I don't mind. True, I just gave someone $1,000 right before we walked in here.
True that.
To me.
Yeah.
So what made you, so you went down this road, all right, and obviously you could go work for some other people. What was the journey to starting your own business? So we have someone starting a nonprofit. I've started my own business. What was the reason on you want to start your own business?
Well, I've always kind of had that gene. All my siblings have their own businesses, like side hustles, nothing too crazy. My brother's a woodworker. My other brother, he does side stuff for like filming and stuff like that. And so I grew up around an entrepreneur as my parents. My dad was a senior pastor. My mom helped him and did a lot of stuff.
Is that why you went to CBU?
It was a contributing factor. Yeah. So I had a couple different offers, but CBU was really like the environment that I knew I'd thrive in. And then, you know where you want to find your wife, and my wife was there. That's
sure, there you go.
I met Shelly
great
at CBU.
Story.
Right.
It was a great story that I heard last week. It was a hilarious story.
I've never heard that story.
So the long short of it is she was part of the pep rally crew that would go to all the athletic games and like pump up the crowd. And so to test,
she saw you in that Speedo.
I mean, well, it's like,
hey, yeah, Speedo is part of it. Yeah. But so to test out one of the gimmicks, she tested out a sumo suit. And so we hadn't officially met yet, but the grapevine, we kind of knew each other, were interested. And the first time I met her, she had fallen over in the grass in a sumo suit. She had like mud all over her face, and the entire water polo team was walking to practice. And we came up and they were like, "This is Shelly. Shelly, this is Caleb." And I like squatted down. And I was like, "How's it going?"
Yeah.
She had mud all over her face, just like beet red because she was embarrassed, and she actually had a concussion.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was.
So she doesn't even remember it actually.
That's probably why I got into athletic training.
Yeah.
No, right.
And that's how you got married, right there.
Yeah. And then we got married.
So it started and maybe ended with a concussion, one or the other.
Exactly. But so I had I want to start my own business as, partly just it's another way of keeping myself busy, making side hustle money. But then also I like providing services that other people don't usually have access to. So right now I don't have a situation where I necessarily want to have my own business where it's like a 9 to 5, here's the business. But I want to open myself up of, you have a goal like you have a 12-week goal and something's hindering you from getting there. Let me see what I can do to help you get there.
I think the hard part is like I would go to chiropractors more, but then it's like I got to go in and get x-rays. Then I have to I don't know if the guy's good or not. Then I got to see if they cover my insurance. Then I got to go, you got to come in twice a week for the next 8 weeks. And then it's bing, bang, boom. You're there for like 37 seconds. And then it's like, oh, that's $87. Thank you.
Yeah. Sheesh. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, sweet, where's my insurance going to?
Well, and then the thing with chiropractic chiropractic as well is they're using pretty legitimate methods to help you, but they don't really give you the tools to install that for those changes forever, right? So that's where athletic training comes in. We don't have the necessarily like the scope of practice to do manipulations, which is like the popping, the cracking, but we have the physical therapy on the back end to make those permanent. So do you think,
so you're saying, this is always an argument because I watch a lot of chiropractic videos.
Yeah.
So the argument is that you guys say is that the muscles pull the bones out of alignment, and that if you strengthen your muscles, you'd keep them aligned.
How complex do you want me to get on this answer?
I'm sure, as long as you want.
Okay,
I'll try your knowledge.
Show us my knowledge. So
let's see that CBU education.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's flex that brain muscle.
So what they're doing to get the pop is called a grade 5 manipulation. And you can get the same movement without the pop and without like the thrust using a grade 4 mobilization. And so what you're actually doing is you're not actually moving the bone all that much, and it's not necessarily all that out of place. So what you're doing is the popping sensation is called a cavitation.
It's the air that's releasing, right?
It's the air that's releasing, you know. And so it's that air releasing, and that sensation that you hear and you slightly feel allows your body to say, oh, we need to pay attention to this area of the body more. And then it also says we have, like, by pushing it past the range of motion, your body remembers that it can move that way again. Like I said last week, where, you know, your shoulder doesn't want to move there, but you don't actually have an injury. You just need to remind it that it can go there. It can go there, so then it will in the future. And you have to do it over and over so that you can remind it every day, right? That's why stretching's super important, but it's not the only thing that you need to do. Just like grade 5 manipulations isn't the only thing you need to do. So grade 5 manipulation is specifically for the joint to remind its range of motion where it can go. And then you have to move through that full range of motion, which is usually uncomfortable because, like, if you get your back popped, you're not going to sit in a chair and go like in your full thoracic range of motion over and over and over again unless someone tells you to.
Yeah.
And so chiros, the negative view on chiros, I'm not going to lump them all together, is it's just like a pop shop. So you go in, you get that new range of motion, and then
that's why you have to keep going back.
Don't remember to do your exercises so you can come back in 2 days.
Yeah.
Right? But then a lot of chiropractors are seeking out athletic trainers for their to
like
have
join
that harmony
forces,
again. Yes. And so athletic trainers are trying to fight for the ability to do grade 5 manipulations. But other professions don't want us to claim that territory.
Because then you take two things from them.
And the market comes in again. Yeah. You know, and so the market defines everything. And the thing about athletic training too is
the market never lies.
The market never lies.
And so athletic training, where it beats chiro and PT, is we are a flat rate profession. So a team gives the AT a salary of 51, 61, whatever the team level is, right? They give you a salary, and then you do all of the PT you can that doesn't need to be referred out for imaging. Yeah. While PT, like you just, or for chiro even, you go in for x-ray.
Yeah,
like,
you're paying every time.
Every time for everything is itemized, right? Which, good on them. They have to protect their bottom line, and they have to, you know, show exactly what they're doing so they can keep their certs and everything like that. Well, but AT is just cleaner.
Do you think they're heavy? Are they heavier on the insurance game? Is that why?
Chiro and PT.
Yeah, so they have to like document everything.
Yeah, so the roof for ATs is a lot lower.
Yeah.
And the roof for them is a lot higher.
Yeah.
But how much patient satisfaction are you getting?
100%. So Zach, why don't you talk about what happened tonight? Because we had a major breakthrough on your knee. That our boy over here.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Literally, you're glowing over here because of it.
I am so excited. Okay, so the year was 2019, I think. 2019 November is around Thanksgiving.
Literally, if I hear this squat record again, God, it's like it's
not a record.
Zach,
I was in
Zach,
Vans.
How much did you squat, bro?
I was in Vans. I was in Vans, and if I was wearing lifting shoes, I would have gotten it. I've heard this story 17 times.
Dude, how much did you lift, bro?
No, that was.
Do you work out?
Jesus, that was my Olympic lifting competition.
Oh, my bad.
No, but squatting.
17.
Yeah, that was 2017. Actually, good job.
And you know what's sad? The last time they've posted on their Instagram page was that post.
Yeah. Hey, we're not gonna
name names here. Too hard. Okay? Server crashed.
The company went down as Zach left.
Yeah. I was the company.
Exactly.
You know? No, but okay. So it's been like over a year since I've squatted. I love squatting. Any one of my older friends knows how much.
Older friends, I know now. We just found. I mean, I've heard of you talking about it. No, everyone knows.
But like, You
It's
haven't seen
it's
my
on your
legs
Bumble
at their
profile.
best. You haven't, dude. I'm not on that shit. I don't need that. But I take so much pride in my legs, and my quads, love them. But I have not been able to squat. It's my favorite movement in like the entire world, and it's been over a year and a half, and I'm so happy now because Caleb found the answer, and it's my psoas. Okay, so he released my psoas, and I do not have a shooting pain going up my right leg anymore. However, I have not put any load on it, but like even just doing body weight lunges feels 10 times better, 100 times better, no pain.
Mm-hmm.
So can't wait to get back in the gym and start loading these bad boys up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
For those that don't know, psoas lifts your hip up, and it's like deep within your belly. So it's tough. It's tough to figure out that that's the problem.
it's deep.
It's deep.
The problem is people have never even
Visceral.
probably heard of it.
It's visceral.
They never even heard about it before.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing too. Is like it's not something common that people know how to do or stretch. Or I mean, let's be honest. We don't even stretch. We should stretch more. But it's just like something it's hard to do.
Yeah, and it's not an easy find. Like, I mean, I've seen Zach. This is the third time. The first time was a little bit shorter. We didn't have all the right tools. But the last time we spent about 45 minutes digging around trying to figure out what the problem is. Figured out one problem, but it wasn't the root. Mm-hmm. And so today we pretty much found the root.
Yeah, we found that root.
We found the root, and we dug it out, hopefully. And so it's going to be a continual fix, though. So the thing that a lot of people miss when they have an injury, right, is your body can heal in amazing ways. But there's a reason you got injured in the first place. So let's say with Zach, he's got a groin injury. It's really a psoas injury. But where'd the psoas injury come from? It's because he uses his left leg more than right on a back squat. We'll just throw that out there, right?
Would you call it an injury, or just like because you were saying
Or
like,
an
my psoas
imbalance?
is just weak? You know.
So that's a good question.
Yeah.
So it started out as an imbalance, but then it worked its way into an injury completely somewhere else than where that imbalance.
That's what's crazy. Is like lower back pain is never your lower back. It's
Yeah.
always your hamstrings and hips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
It's rarely ever your
Yeah.
lower back.
And so the tangent I'm going on is, void of serious injuries where you're like a car accident.
Yeah.
That is coming from somewhere, right? But if it's insidious, which means it takes a long time to take place, we go and solve the problem. If you now all of a sudden are like, I'm good, and go back to normal, he might find himself back in that same exact place because he's allowing that imbalance to take over. So you can't only solve the peripheral injuries, you can't only solve the root, but you also have to go and study why you gain that imbalance in the first place. And it can be many different things. For me, I get right low back pain. Why? I don't know. I'm not like the smallest hip to waist ratio person,
Listen, you
but I
ain't
drive
terrible.
a lot.
Yeah.
But I drive a lot. So
Is your wallet?
Sitting on that fat wallet, man.
wallet. And but I kick my right foot straight out and I kick it out to the side.
Oh.
So what that does is, we can get into ergonomics.
Yeah.
It messes up my right back.
I drive like this all the time.
Me too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Me too.
All the clues are adding up.
I do. That's funny. I drove like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the van.
Yep.
I will say
dang.
that driving the van, I drove a cargo van. You sit more upright. So when you drive, you sit upright like this, like a bus. You're not like down like this.
Yeah, like
Dude.
hand on top.
And so like it helps
That's
me a
true.
lot because especially long drives, because I used to drive a lot of hours. I would drive 8-9 hours, and you would be like in a van. And
Why were you driving that for?
for baseball? I would work a game and dude, I would be
right,
be in like Corpus Christi, the Gulf of Mexico, and have to drive to Springfield, Missouri through the night and work the next night. And then we all wonder why it's like, why does my neck hurt? Why does my back hurt? Why does my hip flexors tight? Well, when you're sitting in a car for 12 hours straight. And the funny thing is, you go and saying like that is just like when I first started in 2007, we had no trainer, we had no physician on staff. Like when you get hit in the head, it was like your test would be the next day to do squats and run. If you had a headache, you wouldn't work that night. Then my last year in 15, it was like you had to take like a long test before every year. Every time you got hit, you'd have to retake that test. You'd have to call the doctor. We had stretching bands. We would have stretching CDs, like a CD matrix on how to stretch every day. And it's just so over my 9-year career when it went from like nothing to like now, like we have full on doctors on staff. It's just crazy. Just even like concussion protocol was like, I mean, literally it would be like this. You would get hit in the head. he would say, hey, I got hit in the head. Okay, cool. So tomorrow we need to do 50 squats and run for 15 minutes. And if you have a headache, you don't work. That was it. If you don't have a headache, you're good.
Do you think
that was it?
Do you think that's why some umpires make such bad calls?
Listen, bro.
Post-concussion syndrome. It's possible, dude.
The odds. Listen. Okay.
Think of how many World Series or like baseball games have been decided just because some guy
None.
did 50 squats.
None. One.
Because they're cross-eyed,
Sadly,
bro.
one.
Really?
Only one. Yes, only one. Yeah, it was the play with Boston, and it was what's the name? Play at first base. He came on totally in the wrong angle. Called the guy safe. Should have been out. Should have been a game over. They end up losing the series. Listen, there's been more. I'm gonna go on a rant right now. There's been more players' mistakes that has cost games than umpires' mistakes. Right? You know what the average player hits under 300. So that every time they go up, only two and a half times they get on base. You know what the average Major League strike zone for misses or accuracy every game? Every single game. Average of the whole season.
Of the pitcher hitting the strike zone?
No. Like umpire calling the right pitch.
Oh, gotcha.
What do you think the number is? Out of 100. What's the percentage of getting calls right?
High 80s.
I'm going to say 82.
You got so confident. I think high 80s.
Same. I'm going off yours.
98%.
Wow.
Dang.
That's how good they are.
Damn.
98% they get the call right on balls and strikes. So when they want to bring in computers, 98% of the time they get the pitch right. 98% of the time.
That's impressive.
How do they get that statistic?
They have TrackMan.
Oh, okay.
So they have like all these cameras. So after every game, every umpire gets a disc or whatever. I don't know if it's a disc anymore, but they get like a link to a website. It shows you every single pitch from every single camera in the ballpark. Tells you every single pitch that you got wrong, every pitch you got right from all different angles. It could even show you like the ball tracking into the zone.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
98,
insane.
man.
That's
98.
How long have they had that?
The TrackMan?
Yeah.
It used to be
that amount of data for the
it used to be, I would say probably like they started happening like halfway when I was in, so maybe like 11.
Okay.
But it's funny, when it first came out, it was only like in Arizona. That's why Kurt Schilling's broke it one time, because he wasn't getting pitches called off the plate, because when you went to Arizona, you knew you had to tighten your zone up because you're getting scored, right? So Kurt Schilling took a bat to it and broke it. Was charged like fined $150,000 or whatever for breaking it. But
He did that like before the game?
No, like during the game, because he wasn't getting pitches off the plate and broke it. Even when I was coming up in AA, in AAA, AA, we had them in our stadiums. In AAA, we still have them in our stadium.
Damn.
Yeah. So when people say stuff, I'm like, dude, you don't even know how good they actually are.
So do you think that getting all those resources, both TrackMan and then all the like the athletic training stuff for umpires, do you think that's because of like education, people like standing up for the umpires, or
I think it's money.
or is it just they just had more money?
No, it's just not that they have more money, but you start realizing like if a guy is off the field because he's hurt, right? You're paying him, and then you have to call someone up from AAA to pay them. You're paying two people now. So it's just Major League Baseball has their books out for the next 10 years, right? So that's why umpires don't have retirement anymore, because baseball wanted to be like, okay, you're done. Like, we don't want to have to worry about if the market's up, down, how much more we have to put into your retirement. So baseball has numbers. It's all financial for them. So if I can keep a guy on the field longer, not get hurt, then I don't have to worry about him being out for a whole year. I don't need him to be out for 2 years, because if you get hip surgery, you're out for 2 freaking years. And then they started realizing it's starting to add up. So we can keep these guys healthier and healthier and healthier. We're going to save money in the long run. And then concussions I think it was just a freak out concussion of the NFL. And they just don't want lawsuits where you get hit in the head so many times that you're like, how did no one ever tell me not to work on the field anymore? I mean, think about it. You get hit twice in the freaking head in a row, in a few nights in a row, like it could be really bad.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And then goes back to concussions, where guys, sooner after you get one, then it's easier to get the second one. It's easier to get the third one. Like, I know I probably had like 6 in my career.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there was one time in the Dominican, I got smoked straight fastball to the face, and and like the guy's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm in the Dominican." He's like, "Oh, good enough. All right, cool." Because I didn't know half the times what city I was in anyway. So, so I think people start realizing is like health wise, like, okay, like you keep people healthier. You don't, one, you're not paying workman's comp, and 2, you're not dealing with, because if you go get surgery, you're paying that surgery. If it's an on-field injury, if I need hip replacement, right? If I need work comp hip replacement, you're paying for it. If I need my knee scoped, you're paying for it. And then you're paying for me in my whole off season. because I'm unable to get a job in the off season. So especially in a crappy AA umpire who's making $2,500 a month or $3,000 a month, now I'm paying him $3,000 a month every single month while he's off,
and getting zero output,
and getting zero from him, and I'm paying him in the off season when I normally don't have to pay him, and I had to pay for that scope. I mean hip surgery.
PT?
Yeah, and PT. That's the funny thing. Spring training. I'm going to spring training tomorrow.
Nice.
Guys are like it's funny. Like to start the season, there's probably about 12 guys in PT every morning, because coming off every year someone does hip replacement.
Jeez. Avoidable.
Right, but they've been doing it. They've been hired since 99, and now they're in their 50s, and they've been doing it for 20 years, and they don't stretch and that's the other thing too. The mindset is changing. Like guys that I came up with, all stretch, all foam roll, all stretch bands, all work out on the regular, all run,
definitely.
Yep. And they eat healthier, and because it's hard to eat on the road.
Yeah, the last decade has really changed the game for the middle-aged athlete or active person.
Well, I think more people want to do stuff, right? I think they want to do I don't know if CrossFit's a big thing, but don't really realize it. But what's the mud runs? Mud runs. Tough mudders.
Yep.
CrossFit. Mountain biking's in now. Those kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, one of the sports I play on the side is disc golf, and that's booming.
Oh yeah,
too,
disc golf's big, huge.
Disc golf, regular golf.
Yeah,
all
regular
the
golf.
sports are booming. And all the injuries are relatively avoidable.
Well, the problem is where do you go to? That's the thing. That's the problem is when you look around, it's intimidating. Be like, oh, I'm not that hurt.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think what our goal for you is, he doesn't know this yet, but our goal for him is we got to get more video out there for people who are more comfortable, because it's the unknown factor that they just don't know. Okay, what does even a session look like? What am I expecting when I walk in? What am I, how does this even work?
Yeah, I would, athletic trainers, where are they? I see
what you're saying.
The person who doesn't, grow up in sports, people who play sports know, oh, that's an athletic trainer, know exactly what he does. But a lot of people don't.
But now, where do you go now? You don't go, how often do you Google athletic trainer? You Google chiropractic or massage.
Yeah.
Those are the two things. In both of them, chiropractor can help, but massage isn't going to help you.
Yeah. So, I mean, right now, athletic trainers are in the traditional setting, which is athletics, like you said. I never came across an athletic trainer until CBU. Apparently, at my junior college, I had one. Because he focused on football, not water polo.
Growing up, throughout all my sports, I've been playing sports since I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Never even had an athletic trainer. Never even knew what they were
about. They were just water boys on the football team.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the what you see a lot with athletic training, you don't see it as much from CBU's program because we're very outspoken. And so a lot of people go into athletic training because they like helping people. They're the helper personality. So they are very the sound booth person at church, right? They don't want to be seen. The only time you know that they're there is when there's something wrong, everybody looks, and then you forget about them again. And so that personality relegates themselves to not being as willing to be entrepreneurial or setting up your own clinic. And so they relegate themselves to this back setup person.
That hangs out on the sideline.
Sideline, water boy, ankle tape only, when they have the skill set to be a game changer on the field. When physicians interact with athletic trainers, so I work in the industrial setting, so I work very very closely with work comp. I work I can't say the company, but they deliver about 7,000 pounds of appliances a day. Those dudes are athletes because they're working for 12 to 16 hours moving athletically up downstairs, catching appliances, all this good stuff. And when physicians or PTs work with us as athletic trainers, we can facilitate the evaluation process down to about 30 minutes because we don't have all the rigmarole. We don't have to we have to document well, but we don't have to and then he moved his muscle 2 degrees. We can get to the meat of the problem much quicker, and we save these guys work comp issues. There's one of our guys down in San Diego. The doc put him out for 8 weeks. It's called MMI, so maximum medical index or something like that, where the doc said you're not going to be back for at least 8 weeks. He came into the athletic trainer twice a day, once in the morning, once at night, for 2 weeks, and the doc cleared him. And he was like, I've never seen someone heal from this that fast. We are able to be on a ground, a grassroots approach to injuries. And so what you guys are talking about was where are they? Is they have relegated themselves to just athletic training. But emerging markets, the market never lies. When you give someone a skill set, they start seeping. And so the only reason that athletic trainers aren't prevalent is because PTs in California specifically, I can't say for the nation, in California, the California Physical Therapy Association is holding athletic trainers back because they feel like we're a threat in the market. Like literally, that's why.
But it's two different games.
Exactly. And so the PTs that appreciate athletic trainers are speaking out for athletic trainers and saying like, this is a legit healthcare profession. There's a lot of, we need to protect our kids, because the problem with athletic training, and I'll say this because it's National Athletic Training Month, is in California we're the only state.
And that's why we're having them on the podcast.
Hey, and ATM. California is the only state in America that doesn't have any licensure over athletic training. So while I follow national guidelines, like I could go to Texas and because what I followed is still legit, you can go out and claim to be an athletic trainer and nobody can hold you liable for anything. And so
I could put athletic trainer on my bio and nobody can call me out.
Nobody can call you out. You can call yourself a trainer. You can call yourself a certified athletic trainer, and nobody can actually come after you. The BOC, which is the Board of Certificates, they can come at you and be like, "Don't do that, bro." In other states, they can follow legal pathways to get you to stop using that terminology. In California, you cannot. And so one of the big fights in California, while we lose some freedoms as athletic trainers to treat people how we want because nobody can really hold us accountable. I mean, do you feel like you could go to a high school and like properly vet people for concussions?
No.
Right? And so people are literally practicing as athletic trainers in these high schools, and they have rudimentary skills protecting these kids. Like, I just checked your ACL, MCL, PCL. Nothing special about me. It's the education I chose to go down. But you have these people that they know how to tape an ankle. They
Sounds
claim
like
to be
real
an
estate
athletic
agents.
trainer. Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's super dangerous out there. And so we have all these different aspects keeping athletic trainers kind of in this, like, it's like sheepdogging us from like really being able to help people.
Is because
it's
then
like,
that's the thing, because then you just bring down the industry.
Yeah.
So you can't raise the bar because it's like, well, we have these people, and then we have to do this, and then it's just lowering the bar so much. It's the same thing with real estate.
Yeah.
It's my same argument all the time. It's like, let's make the bar. I don't know if the bar needs to be harder to get in our industry, but at least make the stay in harder. Because I would never been able to pass a harder test, so I'll be frank about that. That's why people are like, "Why don't you be a broker?" I'm like, "That's another test I have to take. I don't know about that. That's a lot of studying.
Another weekend course I gotta sit.
Yeah, I got to crash course that things." So what's been the best thing? What is the best thing that you've enjoyed about doing what you do that you didn't expect? Ooh. And then what is something that you absolutely hate that you weren't expecting? Because there's some kid, hopefully watching this, that's going to be like, "That's what I want to do." So what is it?
Honestly, it's my perspective on the view of pain. So, everybody's got their own view of pain. Just like you asked earlier, it's like, can you really consider that as an injury? And so I'm able to be a lot more calm with people based on my training and comfort them through their pain. That's what I wasn't expecting, how much like satisfaction that gives other people, where I'll have multiple people come up to me like, "I jacked up my knee, dude." And I can do tests and I'm saying, structurally, you're good. You're going to be in a lot of pain, but it's kind of like you're just going to have to fight through the pain. But even that, you could see their brain say, "Okay, now we can be
because
less,
they don't know.
we can be on less threat."
They're scared.
Yeah,
they don't know.
All pain is a part of your body telling your brain, "You should be worried about this part of my body." That's all that pain is. And so it's similar to, you walk around with bruises all the time and you don't know where they come from, but it's damaged tissue. But your brain isn't seeing that as like an actual threat. And so by being able to learn orthopedic tests and special tests and, really studying cases and all that stuff that goes into 2 years of education, I'm able to give people like peace over their injury, even though it's going to be painful for, weeks, but being able to say your body is strong, your body's able to heal, and you don't need surgery for this specific thing. And you don't even need to go to the docs, or you should go to the doc. Yeah. My brother just tried like swatting this person in basketball, and he's like, "It's kind of tight and I feel like it's locking up." And so instead of having this sense of dysphoria of like, should I go, should I not, should I go? I can confidently say, you need an imaging, you need an x-ray on that elbow. And so then he can be confident, make a good decision. He's not wasting his time or his money and go get that imaging. So the amount of peace that simply all I'm doing is facilitating other people's education that I just sat through for 2 years, right? So like I wanted to make it like, it's not like I'm providing these like ethereal.
No, it's the unknown.
I'm just transferring knowledge for people's situations.
It's almost crazy as you think, obviously with people that don't have insurance, right? It's almost better to go to someone like you first for like a flat fee, and then before you go, hey, I got to go play the big dogs. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or going to a clinic and just waiting.
Yeah. So a good word for athletic training is triage. Yeah. Like for especially the middle-aged athlete. That's middle-aged being post-college athletics to whenever you choose to stop moving.
For sure.
Because it's a choice. It's like I'm now in pain. Anyways, that's a whole nother discussion. Yeah. Is whenever you stop, you're a middle-aged athlete in my mind. So it's a triage center. And we can also give you treatment depending on what you're doing. But it's pretty funny because if you need imaging, I am automatically have to refer you out to get imaging and get decision on by a physician. And then once they tell me what it is, I'm like, yeah, you can come back to me and we can do everything in-house. So literally all I need is the imaging and the clearance of this person isn't neurologically impaired and they're not their life isn't at threat. And then I can deal with anything.
Yeah.
Both because part of education is learning how to research as well, right? Mm. So I can't like off the top of my head come up with every protocol.
Which you're never going to.
I'm going to learn to research.
Well, that's the thing too is like people need to realize it's like you're never going to know everything. Doctors look at books all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
They come in and that's why they're gone real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And there's specialties too.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
So what's the one thing you hate? One
thing I hate about athletic training is I personally feel that people in the profession cap themselves.
Got it.
It's no cap.
No cap.
Well, the problem is it's the unknown. It's the fear factor. And like you said, certain people kind of draw towards certain professions, and that's just a profession that people draw towards, right?
Yep.
It's kind of like umpiring, going back to umpiring, because that's what I know. It's like people don't want it. Like I've literally been in Boston, walk out of the field with the crew and go to the restaurant right across the street, and the game is on TV, replaying it, and they're sitting right here, and no one knows who they are. And that was the job, right? It's like not to be known, and some people like that. Some people want to be in front of the camera all the time.
Yep.
So it's like it takes that like magic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you ever think too? It's like you're especially you're trying to learn so much about the profession that you never work on growing the actual business too.
Clarify that.
Meaning like you're so in depth on like learning how to do your job better that you don't ever take the time and energy to learn how to grow your business because you want to be so good at like that, right? Like I think doctors and lawyers, especially doctors. Lawyers are a little iffy, but like doctors, they can become a specialist about something or specialize on one thing because they don't actually have to go out and get clients.
Yeah.
Right? They come to Kaiser then pushes them. So their job is not to go get people. I wonder if doctors had to go out and get business, they would probably not have as much time and effort to become so in depth in one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're almost business operators, not business owners.
Exactly.
Well, so that's a weakness in athletics.
So that's what I'm saying. So do you feel like that's an issue that people dive so much into like, and maybe it's because, do you feel that people look down, like PT look down on what you guys do?
I think that's
that's
part of
some of them. So then do you feel like they're like, I have to be so good at my job to be respected in the industry that I don't ever look at growing the business?
I think the nature of athletic training, even within its name, right, is you're in the athletic setting. So you get trained so much to be within, like, joining an already existing environment. Like, you are joining the athletic department that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
You never really have to think about, like, how am I going to grow this business? All you have to do is prove that you're, like, helping people.
And players keep coming in and out.
And people, so they're bringing you in so that they're, like, a legit athletic training program. All you need to do is make sure you don't kill anybody.
Yeah.
Right? And so you can simplify it down to that. But athletic training, as we see, is way more complex than that if you want it to be. So I think part of it is other professions are like, yeah, stay right there.
Yeah.
Comfy. Yeah, you're really good at this.
I'm surprised like LA Fitness and like big gyms don't have like athletic trainers like on staff.
Well, when I was working at 24-Hour Fitness, I worked there as a personal trainer. Yeah. That's where I started. When my manager found out that I was going to athletic training, he was like, funnel every injury to Caleb. But I was like a month in, and I just learned what pure performance was. I was like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you just got personal trainers, because they want to keep their athletes coming back for more training.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though, is it's one of those, you don't want to tell people what they're worth because then they'll start charging you for what they're worth, right? And so like 24-hour, their rates are for their best deal is $63 an hour at the time, right? So I'm in there, I just got a master's degree, I have my CSCS, I have all these degrees, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take 30 on the hour, but I'm charging him 63. What if I just go over here and charge 50, undercut you, and then I get the whole 100%?
100%.
So for them, they can't retain them because
what you do
those
is
rates,
those
rates aren't that great. You know?
That's the issue. There's your problem. This is how you get dicey, right?
Mm-hmm.
You give the cut to the actual trainers. You don't give the cut to the gym. So you go to the gym, you go to the trainers personally and be like, yo, I'll give you a referral fee for anyone you refer over to me. So then they're making a little bit of money on the back end. That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is there any like person you're like thinking about modeling your business after? So is there like a mentor that you have right now? Because like if this is so new,
it's
like
yes, I do.
Are you the pioneer or
no? I'm not the pioneer. There are many athletic trainers, especially within California. I'll leave their name out.
No one watches this anyway, so it's okay.
No, you're good. Yeah.
I'm talking about this.
Seven
I'm talking
people.
to town.
I'm
What is
gonna
good in
blast it out
Riverside?
there.
I'll tell you this. This is
I'm
going to
gonna
be the
blast it
number
out.
one podcast in Riverside the next year.
Yeah.
What's Good in Riverside is going to be the number one podcast.
It's because it's what's good in Riverside.
Exactly.
Manifest.
Yeah. No, it'll pop up.
It's popping.
Yeah, it'll get there.
What's popping?
So
Exactly.
So I part of athletic training master's program, you do 8-week segments under people. And so one of the people I was under, he would have like a side spot at a CrossFit gym. And so he would bundle, he basically had a menu, like a restaurant where he was saying, do you want a treatment for 15 minutes? Do you want stretch for 15 minutes? Do you want a full eval for an hour where like 20-minute eval, 20-minute treatment, 20-minute like homework, like giving you homework and what you can do at home. Do you want 30 minutes? Do you want that 30 minutes? So it's 10 minutes. So he had different options. And then he also had other like toys. So, one of the massage guns or the sleeves.
Oh, okay.
The So Right, or like the sleeves that kind of give you
I've been seeing those on Instagram like non-stop. The leg ones?
Yeah,
Normatec?
real great for circulation. I mean, it feels amazing.
I might buy them. I
It's
have no idea how much they are, but
it's not going to get you out of imbalances, but it's a great recovery tool, right?
You can go to Ohana Cryo. They have those there.
Yeah, but I have to pay for that.
I got you.
Oh, well, shit, I don't know. I'm still waiting on my free tans.
You'll get there.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm tanning this weekend.
Go in there and say you're Zach.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I look like Zach. Yeah.
You're pretty close.
Oh, you've been cutting.
Yeah, be like, I can squat.
Intermittent fasting.
I can squat.
I can squat.
My knee doesn't hurt.
Yeah, like, that's not Zach.
That's definitely not Zach. His knee kills him. He always complains about it every time he comes in here. Well, it's exciting, dude. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm having a lot of fun. I think it picked up steam because of you guys a lot quicker than I could have dreamed.
Listen, bro, when you roll into this crew, right, it's game on. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I hate about people is like, let's just do it now. Why wait? Let's just do it. You're never going to be ready.
Yeah.
I opened this place and I was not ready. I'm still not ready, right? I started a podcast. Didn't know how to do podcasts.
Yeah.
Hired staff. Had no idea how to hire people. I didn't even know what like workman
Run
comp
before you
was.
walk.
Well, I mean, I didn't even have a business license. The only reason I ever got one because someone knocked on my door and they're like, "Do you run a business center?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "We're the city of Riverside. You actually need a business license." I'm like, "I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure this out as I go."
Like, oh yeah, that was on my to-do list.
Yes, on my to-do list. I've only been here for a year. Okay. So that's the thing is like you're never ready, and I think that's why people never take the jump is because they're just like, "Well, like I'm just not ready yet. I don't have enough. Where am I going to get people? I don't have enough staffing. I don't have this. I don't have that." That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like when he hit me, I was like, "I need a table. Done. Let's just get a table."
Bada bing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
literally 30
I've used
seconds.
it already to cover tournaments and stuff like that. So
There you go.
That's what one of my best buds. He was like, I sent him Apex Recovery, and I was like, "What do you think of this name?" He's like, "Oh, are you starting a business? Like, when did you think about doing that?" And I was like, "Honestly, the demand has asked for the supply, and I just happen to be the supply at this time."
Well, and that's the thing too is like all of it takes is like we're gonna hook you up with our boys at Animal House Fitness. Like it just takes like more and people. And nowadays it just takes like people in the fitness industry like tagging everyone and be like, "Oh shoot, that guy's there. Okay, cool. How do I hit him up? Hey, this guy." That's really what. Especially you don't need to have that many clients. Right?
Yeah.
But if you just dominate the Riverside Fitness with the CrossFit gyms up in Mission Grove, right?
Dude.
Well, it's crazy.
Sean,
Zach just posted my name that I was an athletic trainer, and then the next like 3 weeks at Fitness Mania, people were like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
You know, what do you think about this? And I'm like,
You do not know how many DMs I got after we posted that video. Where I was just
people just want help that they can afford.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. It's
like,
scary because they don't know how much. That's why like you need to make that like that menu sheet. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'll get on that.
Because then like people just put it on. Like then it's like pricing. So then you can like I can look at your page and be like, that's what pricing is. That's how much that costs. Cool. Let's set that up. Because you can even do in-home if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with that type of table.
Pandemic world, you know.
Yeah. I'm a survivor.
Could you do?
dude. I'm a survivor of that COVID.
Yeah, you are. We all are.
Are you?
Nope.
Oh, you never got it?
No.
We'll just wait for it.
Bro,
3 days.
We're
3
gonna try
days
and
from
give
now.
it to you, bro.
Bro, I'm running strong over here.
Damn.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, is there a way that you could do like a virtual consult with people?
Yeah, so that's a new for the triage that we were talking about earlier of like, do I need to go see extra care? That is a new platform for all of healthcare, pretty much. Is Zoom telehealth visits, and so that's what a big bulk of my job is every day. Telehealth, and so what that involves is, you know, I'm not hands on, as you guys know. I was barely talking for most of the evaluation, so that you were losing a lot. But the triage aspect is there, so it's good for this happened, this accident happened. Do I need to go see someone else? No, okay, and then probably you want to get in person for one evaluation, and then follow up over Zoom. Definitely plausible.
Bro, we gotta get that we gotta get the same camera we have for the conference room so it shows the whole area.
What?
You don't know about
that camera?
Oh yeah, I'll show it to you
The
afterwards.
one in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you
That's
afterwards.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Literally, it shows the whole room.
yeah.
And the mic's in the middle.
No hiding.
No hiding. So if you want to do if we could be doing it on Zoom with someone right now on the TV. There.
Okay, yeah.
And it'll show all three of us, and then the mic's in the middle, it'll pick up all of us.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's pretty
big
cool.
times around here.
Yeah.
We're doing big things, right?
Big
Make
things.
decisions.
I got big dreams.
So anyways, man, how do you want to leave this off? How can people get a hold of you? How can people find you?
Instagram _ Apex Recovery _
Did you make an Instagram?
I made an Instagram. Yeah,
Oh.
I'll go follow you.
I didn't know if you're just gonna change your current one into your company one.
So my regular Instagram is Wiz Khaliba
Yeah.
because of my name, but then I made an account for Apex
Oh,
Recovery.
I thought like you were just gonna change over your name.
No, because that one's got a lot of people that have it was just better to
The more the
create my own
merrier, dog.
account.
I'm changing my personal account to my coaching business, Bandit Bodies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My account
Bandit
is my personal account.
Bodies. Well, you're a realtor. You know, this is different.
Bro, I crush both of you guys in what I do.
I know you do. Yeah.
I put out
Everyone's like,
Dude, I feel like you beat me up for no reason there.
everyone's like,
welcome to the crew.
yeah. Everyone's like, yeah, I don't know why, but I like follow that guy that you're doing on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like I was
I
like,
saw
I
you
don't
for
even
some
know who
reason.
he is. And I was just like, yeah, I mean that's what everyone says about Adam.
Dude, honestly, you know, like there's so many people it's like, yeah, we're friends on Facebook. I'm like, okay, I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, yeah, everyone follows me on Facebook. There's only 3 rules of business.
Literally
people.
everyone.
3 rules of business.
3 rules of business.
He has 7 billion friends on.
I'm almost at 5,000. Yeah.
That's a lot.
And I stopped
1200.
adding real estate people.
Oh really?
Yeah, because it just takes up my followers.
For real estate people, yeah. For a realtor, yes. For me, I'm like, I want all the real estate people I can get.
Well, we already.
Dude, you need to get some food in you.
So, anyways, let's add up. I got a Major League umpire calling me right now.
Oh,
So,
no big deal.
yeah. Anyways, hey, thanks for coming on. I'm
for
super
having
excited. We got some big things coming, people. We're gonna do some videos, some walking people through, maybe some warning signs. We got a lot of ideas coming through here.
Joel.
Super excited.
I'm guessing we'll get
Yeah, we could have work on Joel. Have Joel
come
come
in,
in
yep.
here. And I think the goal for 2021 is for everyone in Riverside to know who you are and know your
Sir.
business and know where they can find you and start hiring you. So until
I'm
next time,
talking
guys. Peace.
Peace.